Umair, over to you now. Takaful, you're representing Takaful Pakistan. Another growing industry of Pakistan, it's the Islamic mode of, Islamic alternate of the insurance industry. A growing industry again, keeping in view again the FATF requirements, how aware you are, and what are the real issues leading to MLCFT in the Takaful industry.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Takaful, as you mentioned, it's a growing sphere in Pakistan, and the growth rates have been healthy in the last few years. I mean, we've been, from a non-life Takaful operators perspective, the industry has been growing about 10%. We're still small as compared to the overall non-life insurance industry parameters. But it's a growth sphere, and there's a lot of interest and from the customers and consumers as well in terms of opting in for the Takaful solution as an alternate to the conventional insurances that are available. Generally, the industry, because of the inherent low risk that as a non-life operator that poses to the overall framework that is there. We as an industry have been sort of, behind from the rest of the non-banking financial institutions in terms of embracing the framework that has been proposed by the SECP of the governance and the compliance and for the MLCFT regulations that are in place. So we're sort of catching up at this point in time. I mean, it all starts from the top, and my colleagues here have sort of mentioned coming right from the board and then going into the company on the operational level as well. So we've been sort of adopting that and embracing it fully, starting from the KYCs to setting up to our policies, and then going into the SOPs, and then inculcating that to the organization and sensitizing our people, because generally, I mean, this issue has been talked about. Culturally, there are issues. We have customers who are not very keen on sharing information, and then you're going in with them with the KYC and getting the information through, and then obviously analyzing it and applying the risk-based approach that has been proposed by the regulators here as part of the MLCFT regulations. So it's more of a cultural challenge, both within the organization as well as outside, as far as the customers are concerned. So, making them understand the issue and sensitizing them with the requirements that are in place, and then getting that information on board, and sensitizing your own people and the people who are on the front, and then at the operational level. That's been an area for us where we've been working on in terms of embracing the framework, and a lot of emphasis now is towards the optimizing the due diligence process and making sure that we are able to do that. Onboarding becomes a challenge, obviously. I mean, because you're asking for a lot of information with the customers in terms of their financials and where their sources of incomes are coming from and all. So for us, it's been a journey which we have been sort of embracing it at a very rapid pace, going by the regulations that are available. I think the regulators have been very facilitative in terms of imparting the knowledge, the trainings to the insurance companies and to the Takaful operators, and we've been getting there at a faster pace now, in terms of making sure that we've got the right framework and the systems in place in terms of doing the KYCs and the due diligences, and then taking forward in terms of reporting to the regulators in terms of any issues that are there.
Excellent. So it looks like not only the banks, but the non-banking financial companies, they are also geared up for the compliance culture. The exchange companies, asset management companies, they're all, they have to come up, and since the international regulators are very active, so the compliance culture is improving across the industry. So with this, I'm opening up the question and answer session. If we have any questions from the audience. Do we have any questions, or should we wrap it up? Looks like खाने की खुशबू यहाँ तक आ रही है. All right. So with this, closing the panel. Thank you very much. Thank you.